If you're watching this video, please, this is a disclaimer. Don't come to the comment section telling me sorry. Don't come to console me. Rather than console me, please bless God on my behalf. Bless God for what he did for me. Bless him for what he's doing and for what he's about to do. So now let's get right into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ijoma Mado, Nigerian YouTuber here in Zurich, Switzerland, and I welcome you to my channel. If you're stopping by for the first time, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for clicking in. I really appreciate, and please do me the honor, do me the favor of clicking on the subscribe button and join the family. It's a nice place to be. To my returning subscribers, I really thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting me on this journey. I mean, it has not been easy, but with you all backing me up, it makes it enjoyable, and I'm really grateful. So in today's video, sorry, it's going to be a sad one. Yes, it is a sad one. I want to share what my journey was like what it was for me to be a mother, the journey to motherhood. I mean, some people usually have it easy, very easy, like some even get pregnant before they want to. But for some of us, for some people like me, it wasn't that way. We had to wait, we had to struggle, we have to face we had to face disappointment, but finally at the end of the day, God's mercy prevailed. So today's video, I'll be sharing about how I lost my baby. You can call it a miscarriage, you can call it a preterm delivery, you can call it whatever, but the fact remains that I lost the baby. So I got married before I graduated from the university. Like in my final year in the university, I got married. And definitely to some people, immediately after graduation or after marriage, the next thing they hope for is getting pregnant and having a baby, starting up a family. In my own case, I didn't get pregnant immediately. I had to wait. The next year, nothing happened. Then before I finished my NYSC, if you're not Nigerian, NYSC simply means National Youth Service Corps. It is a program one must complete after university education before you be labeled a full graduate in order to get a good job. So some months before I finished my NYSC, I finally took in victory at last. And let me point out that before I was in Nigeria while my husband was here in Switzerland, so we weren't staying together. It's always occasional when he comes back. So finally I took in, and as God will have it, I came back home, or at least I thought maybe God wanted me, because I had my own morning sickness is nothing to write home about. So I believed God knew what he was doing, that he didn't make me to get pregnant while I was serving. That is because I was serving in a different state from my state. So it was when I came back that I found out that I was pregnant. But then the problem or the trouble started. Immediately I found that I was pregnant, that same night, attack came up. If you don't understand what I mean attack regarding the pregnancy. Just like having nightmares. I started having nightmares, like literally when I sleep, instead of me to have a good rest, or instead of me to have a good night's sleep, I will be having attacks, like people pursuing me, and it was all targeted at the pregnancy. Yes, it is what it is. So I told my mom, but the thing is, my mom doesn't really believe in all those stories. To her, oh, it's nothing, you're having hallucinations, it's all what do I call it, superstitious. It doesn't happen, because during her own time she never had such thing, and she has never heard of such stories before. So I told her, I would, like, you can imagine, sometimes I'll go to bed sleeping, I'll see someone pushing me with an axe, and she'll be like, oh, that pregnancy is out, come and have your baby, let's see you, come and do shakarege, come and do guy for us. That's crazy. Like, it's okay. On three different occasions I fought with mad people. The last one that happened before the pregnancy was a madman. He was just pursuing me. People were asking him, what did this young lady do to you? He said she did nothing, but I must attack her, I must hurt her. So I was just running, and then that same day was the day I lost the baby. So how did it all started? How did it start? What happened? On this day, I was already 5 months gone. Yes, I was past 4 months. It wasn't exactly 5 months, but you know, we count pregnancy is being counted in weeks. So I was some weeks after 4 months gone. So on this day, I wanted to go out. Then I entered the bathroom. And okay, let me point out that in this particular pregnancy, I had a placenta previa. This simply means that the placenta was before the baby. Like normally when a woman is pregnant, there is a particular position the baby's head should be first. Like when you're scanning, immediately you put the scanner on the womb or below the abdomen, just above the pubic region. The first thing you should see is the baby's head. But in my own case, it was the placenta that came first. It's known as placenta previa or let down placenta. So in my own case, it was the placenta. And the thing is, it's not really a bad situation. It's not that bad. But the only thing is that if a pregnant woman is supposed to be careful, someone with a let down placenta will have to be extra careful. So in my own situation, I had this placenta let down or placenta previa. So I went, that day I was supposed to have a bath, and then my mom would be like, oh, when you're having your bath, try to dip your hand inside your pubic region, try to wash it off, blah blah blah. So in my own case, this was exactly what I did. I dipped my hand in the pubic region trying to wash off, then I spotted, like the blood dropped on the bathroom, and I saw it. As a first timer, I got scared. That is what it should be. I got scared. I called my mom. Then okay, I was living in my husband's place. Like I know I was in my husband's place. If you watched my videos, you can see that my previous videos, I will link it down there, like my travel vlog when we traveled back to Nigeria. You will notice that my house is not far from my husband's place. That's my maiden home is not far from my husband's place. So I called my mom. She came immediately. Then I told her how it happened, and we all got scared. You know, when you've been waiting or when you've been wanting something for so long, you wouldn't want to take you would always take every step to ensure the safety of what you've been wanting. So in this situation, I called my mom. We had to take the next available cab to Owerri, that is the capital city of Imo State, Nigeria. We had to take the next available taxi to Owerri. Then I reported to the hospital where I registered for my antenatal. So I had to talk to the nurses to allow me go in. I told them I was bleeding. First time, you don't know the scare. So I told them I was bleeding. She said, "Are you still bleeding?" I said, "Oh yes, I'm bleeding." So but then it was just a spot, but because there were many patients, I wanted to secure a spot because it was already getting late, and I don't want it to happen because that was on a Friday. This happened on a Friday. On Saturdays, the doctors don't really report to work early, so this happened on a Friday. So I wanted to make sure that the doctor attended to me before it was dusk. So I went, I saw the doctor. The doctor asked me what's happened. I told him everything, and I told him, but since then I haven't spotted again. He said okay. He gave me some medications. Then I came out, we got the medication, we got the medicines, then we left. But as we were approaching the door, I showed my mom the medicines he gave me. Then I brought out one particular medicine. I showed my mom that maybe this is the reason why the price or the bill was high. Like normally, if I go there, the medications, usually my routine drugs as someone who was pregnant, went up to 1,000 naira or maybe a little above 1,000, but it wasn't more than 2,000 naira. But on this day, we had to pay like 3,000 naira. So I showed the medication to my mom and told her, oh, probably this is the reason why the bill was high. She said yes, it's true. So in the medication, it was written I should take a tablet 3 times daily along with other routine drugs. So I came back home. Then my mom had to go back to the village, but I stayed in Owerri with my sisters-in-law. So I went to Owerri. I took this medication, this particular medicine, and I felt cramps around my pubic region. But then I thought I was just reacting to the medication in a positive manner. I didn't know, JJC. So I then took, then because it's actually weird when I'm pregnant, like in this particular pregnancy, I hated social media. I didn't have the strength to be scrolling through my phone. So I didn't have the strength to do anything of such. So I left my BlackBerry phone, which was in vogue then. I left it somewhere. I was just going around with my small Nokia touch just to receive call and to make calls. So I immediately I stopped. I went that same night. I took my sister-in-law's phone. I checked I checked this particular medicine on the internet. The first thing that popped up, okay, by the way, this medicine is misoprostol. I took I checked the what this medicine contains in her phone. The first thing that popped up was self-induced abortion medicine. I was like, God forbid, no, it's not possible. No, it's not possible. The doctor cannot give me this particular medication. Okay, prior to that, I also had hormonal imbalance. Like it was difficult. My menstruation doesn't really come as it should. It doesn't come as always as it should. So this same doctor had been the one giving me medicine, managing the situation until I took in. So I told myself, no, it's not possible. He can't possibly give me this particular medicine because he's the one who has been treating me all along. So definitely it's a no-no. It's not possible. But then I spoke to my sister and I asked her, look at this medicine. I don't really know. It sounds funny. I showed this medicine to my sister and this particular medicine, I don't think is a good medicine. She said, oh, the doctor gave it to you, take it. He can't possibly give you something that would harm you or your baby. It's good for you, so take it. So I came back. I came to Owerri. I came to the house where she stays on Friday. Saturday morning, I took the medication. Then the cramps stopped. Afternoon, I didn't take the medication. Then at night again, I took it. Obviously because the bleeding has stopped. So on Sunday morning, I took the same medication. Then I was on my way. I went to see our neighbor because I've been in the village for a long time. So I haven't been to I have not been staying there like 3 months or so. So I went to see our neighbor. So we were just talking, gisting and laughing. So in the process, then I got this heavy cramp, this strong cramp. Oh, I told her, oh, I have to go. She asked me what the problem was. I told her I don't know, but I have this strong cramp that I have to go back and lie down. So I went home. So we were just, I was now with my sisters-in-law and we were there gisting. We were gisting and talking. Then I felt my laps. I felt something sticky on my laps. I touched it. I touched my laps. I called her, see blood. Then as I stood up, they said, oh, the blood is not even a small one. Look at her shirt is stained. So we automatically took the next available means straight to the hospital. So I got to the hospital. I didn't meet the particular guy that has been treating me. I met another doctor. So, okay, before that, I was supposed to go for a scan on Saturday. So I went to scan. I saw this doctor at the scan session and I showed him this particular medicine and asked him, what does this medicine do? What is the work of this medicine? He looked at it and asked me what the problem was. I told him that after taking it, I usually feel cramps. He said, okay, go back to the doctor that gave it to you and tell him that you are reacting negatively to this medicine. I asked him, but what is the function? He said, oh, you should go and ask the doctor. He will let you know, he will tell you better. So on this was now a Sunday. I went back. I didn't meet the doctor who has been treating me. I met one of his assistants. So I explained everything to him and he said, I told him, doctor, I don't trust this medicine. I don't trust this medication. He said, oh, it's only the medication is to make you better. I said, doctor, this medicine is the cause of my problem. He said, oh no, he tried convincing me, saying all sorts of things. I said, no, doctor. At a stage, he wrote on my folder, the patient believes that the medicine given to her is affecting her negatively. Something like that. So then he told them to take me to one of the admission units where I'll have to lie down and receive drip, I think infusion, for an infusion. So in the process, I was going out. I then saw this doctor that has been treating me. I rushed and went to him. You know, when something about to happen, when something negative is about to happen, it will be drawing you, it will be pulling you. So I rushed and met him and told him, oh doctor, look at what happened, look at what happened. He said, no, this medicine is to make you good, is to make you better, is to stop bleeding, the function is to stop bleeding, it cannot be, blah 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 blah. He then wrote something on the paper and gave the nurses to give me. Then they brought this same tablets. I was explaining, I expected something, and I told the nurse, no, the doctor said this medicine shouldn't be given to. She said, no, this is another one, it's not the one before. But then it has already been removed from the sachet, so I couldn't really tell. But because of the shape and the size, that was why I thought it was the same medicine that was affecting me negatively. So they then gave me, I think, 6 of these same tablets with an infusion with other medications. I took this medicine and then I slept. It was around, I think that should be around 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. The cramping woke me up. I was cramping. The cramps was really much. I was just screaming, like I couldn't even know. Then I told them it's more like menstrual pain, because I don't know what labor was like. I've not felt it before, I've not experienced it before. I never knew it was labor that was happening. So I told them, oh, I'm cramping, I'm having cramps, I have cramps, help me out, somebody help me. I was just screaming out loudly, screaming. Then my sisters-in-law who were with me went out to call the nurses. Okay, I also forgot to mention that when I told my mom about all those attacks that I do have in the dream, there is this a program that is being done in the Catholic Church. She told me, oh, since you said you were having attacks, join other pregnant women and be going. And then I was going, but you know, there's a difference between I'm sorry to say, but I wasn't actively praying. I was only passively praying, more like every Monday we go for this program, then after prayers, after morning mass, we go back home like nothing was happening, I'm fine, I was strong, blah blah blah. And then I wasn't strongly prayerful. So back to the gist, I then around 4 a.m. or so, it was very early in the morning, the cramps was really crazy. Like presently, with what I've experienced with my labor experience, I can particularly tell you that was labor. I was in labor. So I was cramping, then I started screaming, something is coming out from my body, something is coming out from my pubic region. That was when the nurses, then all of them gathered. Oh, what is it? Then the thing slightly then came out. What is it? One of the nurses came in and asked me, oh, what is it? How many months gone are you? I said 5 months. Then I told her the particular number of weeks. I can't actually tell now. I told her, she said, oh, it's gone. I screamed Jesus. When I screamed Jesus, that was when the vulva then opened and pushed the baby out. Boom! I was like, gosh. I screamed. I cried. I asked God, where art thou? My husband's name is Chinedu. You've been leading me all along. So what's happened? How come you forsook me at this dying minute? Like I was 3 months during the first trimester. According to what I heard, that is usually the most dangerous period during pregnancy. So I was already, the first trimester was out. I'm right in the middle of the second trimester, and this thing really happened. So how come? What's happened? I'm sorry if you see me shed a tear, forgive me. But and yes, I've gotten over this particular incident, but believe me, each time I try to recall the story, it brings back the memories, and I feel sad. But looking around me, I feel grateful for my blessings. I mean, I'm a mom of 3 now. Looking around me, I feel very blessed. So I asked, how come? What happened? How come? I cried. It was as though my world fell apart. I was devastated. But then it has already happened. And I'm sorry to say this, but I don't know why Nigerian nurses and doctors, they don't have the sympathy in them. Like, to them, it's more like it's something that can happen to anybody. So there's something like no empathy. Even okay, one of the nurses, as I was crying, one of the nurses came in and said, you're not the first person. Every week we always evacuate babies here. Then she pointed at another lady for me and told me, oh, look at this one also had a miscarriage. Why should they be screaming? It was mad, it was crazy. I asked her, oh, maybe she wanted it. I said, okay, how many months ago? She said she's 6 months gone and she lost her own and she's coming herself and you're here screaming and you're, my gosh. So if I already had the knowledge I have presently back then, like when this happened, I just decided to leave everything for God. More like God knows it all, and yeah, he gave and he took. Let me just take it that way. Like, but then the staff in this particular hospital, I know it's a very common thing in Nigeria. Like, you're in pain, like it's funny because in Nigeria, even if you're having a baby, you see someone who is in labor, instead of you to have mercy, you know what she's going through, you know she's passing through hell, but instead of these people to show empathy, you will see them screaming and shouting at these people. Like, it's crazy. Then I went home, the baby was buried and they didn't let me see the baby. So I was in grief, I was crying all through. It was really horrible for me. It was a devastating experience that I wouldn't even wish it on anybody, not even an enemy. So I was crying, I was in pain every time. Like, my mom had to take me, I was no longer in my husband's house, I had to go to my maiden home. My mom told her friends, oh, it's better for me to take her home so that she wouldn't be thinking, at least if I'm going out, she'll go with me. So every time I was always crying. Like, that was my first real heartbreak. To be honest with you, I've had heartbreak with exes, but nothing could be compared to this one. Like, I felt it right in my chest. I'll wake up at night, I will cry. I remember waking up one morning, I told my mom, I can't even endure this. The pain is too much. It's too much. I can't endure it. So my mom consoling me, then she'll tell me, oh, come and pray to God. I told her, I can't even pray. What's the need of praying? What's the need? Like, okay, I've been praying all along, but God didn't help me. So if I tell you that didn't shake my faith in God, I would lie. My TTC journey really affected my faith. Sometimes I remember waking up one day and I was like, oh, it seems God is really busy with other people. He's busy with the requests of other people. Maybe my own call. It's just like when someone is calling, like, I just took it that it's like a phone call. Maybe he picked other people's call, he's here to answer mine. So I was devastated, people coming to console me, all people coming around. So on this day, I followed my mom to her shop. Then her shop is still a little bit distant from where my village, from my own maiden home. So I followed her, I told her, oh, I want to go to the chapel. She said, okay, you can go. So I'm now trying to tell you how I healed from it. So I went to this chapel. When I got there were little children around. I got angry. I got angry. Oh, what are these children doing here? This is a chapel. This is not where they usually have. They usually block rosary. Why can't they just go to another place? Oh, anyway, I'm already here. Let me just go in. That was my thoughts. Let me just go in. I went to the chapel. I just knelt down. I was crying. I couldn't even talk. I don't even know what to say. I didn't know what to say. So I was just crying all through. Then these little children, they were just singing praises to God. So at a stage, I became, let me say, I was really sad before. So my sadness went from 10 degrees. It went from, okay, let me say, on a scale of 100, it was 100 before. So on 100 degree, it came down to 80. So I was now trying to follow with the children's, with their song, what they were singing. I was just there listening to what they were saying. At the stage, I got up and met their leader. I told him, oh, look at what happened to me. I will really be happy if these little children can say a prayer for me so that God will give me another child. And they prayed for me. Then I stood up and went home. Like, immediately I left the chapel. It was as though a big burden has been lifted up from my chest. I felt peace. That was, I came to terms with what happened. Before, if I was telling the story, I would always cry. But after that day, I was not telling the story as a normal story. I wasn't feeling the emotions. It wasn't so grief as it was before. By the way, I'll say hello to one of my rainbow children, one of my kids, my baby boy. Nah, say hello. Say hello. Say hello. So on the next day, I woke up with a new song in my mouth. This song is looking onto Jesus, onto the future, going along the way. Forget about the past. Looking onto Jesus, going along the way. Like God just planted this music in my mouth. I was just thinking it, like I was thinking it passively. All of a sudden, I pissed myself. What am I doing? You just lost your baby, so what happened? And that was when I then read meaning into that particular music. This was a music I learned when I was little, when we usually go for block rosary. That was when I learned this music, and I kept on singing. So I kept on singing this song, and that was how my healing came. Yeah, then I tried forgetting, but it wasn't so easy, because sometimes when I see my friends who got pregnant with me at the same time, like back then, if I see it, I'll be like, oh, had it been this incident didn't happen, I would have been in this same situation, I would have been there. So it was finally later that we found out that it was the medications, the misoprostol that was given to me, that was the cause of my problem, that led me, it's a self-induced abortion medication. So definitely, if you should take it, it will only lead to cramping. That is, it will try to cramp, lead to it's just like inducing labor. Then I'm glad, I'm blessed. Please, if you watched up to this end, don't go consoling me. I mean, I'm already healed, and God has really consoled me in a more beautiful way. Like looking at, I have 2 boys and I have a daughter. So most times when I even remember that incident, I'll be like, maybe if that child was still living, maybe I wouldn't have this particular one. And I can't even imagine living without my baby. So that is to tell you how blessed I am. And this is also a message of hope to anybody who has gone through this, who is TTC. Just keep the faith alive, keep hoping, and God will keep the faith alive, keep hoping, and God will definitely bless you. Don't give up. I know it's difficult, it's cliche, you've heard it several times, but just keep believing, and God will do it at his own time. And so my take home from all these things is, number 1, always trust your instincts. Whenever your instinct tells you something is wrong, something is definitely wrong. Check very well. Most times I think our brain really have the ability to process things, to tell us when something negative is about to happen, but sometimes we are so adamant that we don't pay attention. 1, trust your instincts. Secondly, whenever you detect something, especially if you have all those kind of attacks like I did, always try to be prayerful. I mean, not passive praying. There's something like active prayer. Fortify yourself with the word of God. It definitely goes a long way. And yeah, I think these particular 2, trust your instinct. So most times, and another thing, sometimes when I see people hiding their pregnancy from the internet, I don't blame them. Or when they hide it from people because they don't trust these people, I don't really blame them. And because in my own situation, with what happened to me, tell me what else could be the cause. You can't tell me it was just a normal thing. It's definitely witchcraft. Someone must have been behind it. I mean, the only message I told the person is, since you think this particular gift coming to me, I don't want having it. Since you don't like it, may you never receive such thing. I hope it's not a bad cause. Be it unto you as you think for me. So I hope ignore the noises from my baby boy. So that's it. And I believe it's not a bad one. So if you think something bad is what or somebody doesn't want being blessed, in the same way you cannot be blessed. That is just what I believe in. So, and that is it. I hope I didn't prolong it. I'm sorry it's too long, but I just tried to give you every detail of what happened, how it happened. And okay, I think I've said enough. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. I will definitely see you in my next video. It will also be another story on my journey to motherhood. Remain blessed, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.